what we like to do now is bring up who we think you should buy this week, who you should hold, and who you should sell.
Yes,
so
sir.
to start off with, let's have a look at who we should get.
Targets acquired.
And I'm going to start this off, mate, because we said earlier that Petrarca at 550k and potentially with a 121 break even is a bit high, but this is probably about as cheap as you're ever going to see Petrarca, mate, especially if he gets on a run.
Yeah, I think we could wait one more week as well, and then we could have a genuine crack at Petrarca. I probably wouldn't go this week, but Clayton Oliver, I'm as much as some people want to say no, I'm saying yes.
Yep. Oliver, must have this week.
That's who I just said. Yeah, Clayton.
Yep. Merritt, Caldwell.
Yep. Best.
I love all of them. Nicky Dacos, definitely. You got to get him in. He's going to be a top 6 back along with Luke Ryan. Caleb Sarong.
I think Ryan's a bit expensive at the moment. Well, I'm going to wait.
He could potentially reach 700k with that 197 last week.
That is very true if he has a massive one this week as well. And who are they? Oh, yeah, Sydney. Yeah, but that's why I didn't really like it, because I think Sydney can hold him a bit.
Yep. Sarong, very good player. Top 8 mid for sure. Dan Houston, I like him as well. A little bit down last week, but he'll bounce back. Isaac Rankin. I think it's time to buy stocks in Isaac Rankin.
Mate, I've been saying buy Rankin for the last 2-3 weeks since he played North. I think he can be up there with the top forwards that we've been looking at. I would rank him just behind Dylan Moore.
Yeah,
I prefer Dylan Moore, in fairness. But then we look at Sammy Walsh. I think he's a buy. I'm not 100% on this week, or maybe wait a week. It's a bit iffy. Nick Newman can be a buy, but just remember it's going to be on a timer. Jack Bowes, yes, but also on a timer when rest of Geelong's midfield come back. Bailey Dale is just a big yes for me. I think he
Bale, yes.
As long as Bevo just sticks him where he needs to play, he is going to score us well, Supercoach wise. Stop moving him from the halfback flank. He is your best halfback flanker. He is your man that you need, Bevo. Stop it.
He's got to play halfback, doesn't he? He's got to break even at 55 again this week.
Yeah, but he is their best halfbacker. Stop trying to bloody bring Bramble and JJ into it. Bailey Dale is your best halfbacker. He's your most damaging halfbacker.
Yep. Diddley Flanders, you need to have him in. He's going to be a top 6 forward, 100%. Clossy and Graham, they're probably more holds for this week. Sinclair from St Kilda, he's really upped his midfield time and he's been awesome along with Dylan Moore. You identified the role change a couple of weeks ago, mate, and that is awesome. He's averaging 130 in his past 3 weeks. And again, he's going to have a big price rise this week. I think he's only got a break even of 20 odd or something this week again. I think it's time to buy stocks in the Brisbane midfield. Lachie Neale and Dunkley especially, mate.
Dunkley is all systems go for me. I mean, as I said, I've said it before the start of the year, 120 last year besides the last 2 games. Big yes on Dunks for me, and it looks like he's going all gangbusters right now as well. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know about the price, right? It's a big price for Jake Saligo, the slug, but shit, he's playing some good footy. If Matt Crouch wasn't in the side or had no chance of being in the side, I would have picked up the slug so many weeks ago, Horse. But I just don't know if I can fully trust it with him in there, and especially at that price. Darcy Jones, he is our number 1 downgrade option this week. We bring in Darcy Jones as downgrade options, yes.
Yeah.
Horse, how much does this hurt us, seeing that right now at this very moment, Jaden Short is a buy option?
Yeah, it hurts. But he's at price for a reason, remember, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is cheap. Right. Yes, you might get him on the cheap, but it is Richmond. They're riddled with injuries. Yes, they're getting Prestia back, but Prestia may do a Mumford and tear his hamstring running out of the race onto the ground. He doesn't have very good hamstrings, I guess, and his injury history is shit, so you don't know when he's going to get hurt. I think Richmond are just out of form, and Jaden Short may go back to the 80s this week. But he is very cheap. So if you want to take that risk, I would suggest going now. Darcy Jones from GWS is a buy. Darcy Wilson is still a buy. He's still got a negative 23 break even. Okay. And I'm listing Darcy Parish as a buy. 600K for a reason at the start of the season. He averaged over 120 last year. He's been back the last couple of weeks, scoring over 125 2 games in a row. I don't think he'll be this cheap for the rest of the year. I think you got to buy him if you want him.
Okay. Yep. I can definitely say that. I'm also not opposed to waiting one more week, but I would still take Clary over Parrish. But also, there's one player's name here that I don't see on here. That's been one that we should probably bring up. 309K.
I missed it.
Is it Colby McKercher?
Yeah.
I still have him. So I'm wondering from you, as someone that got rid of Colby because you didn't listen to moi, are you bringing Colby back in with his minus 67?
So it depends how I play this week. I've got enough cash to trade out Roberts and Dempsey and bring in Oliver and Parrish if I want to.
Ooh.
Or I can save some cash and bring in McKercher. But I'm of the mindset that I might go 2 primos this week and then do my double downgrade next week with the 2 102K rookies and make bank again. So this week's going to be a tough week because I've got Rosie and I've got Green. So I have to hold them. So I need points. So that's why I'm erring that way. But for someone like you, mate, it's a godsend having McKercher at that price, negative 61. If you don't have him and you want to go that way, I would strongly encourage you to, because we saw what happened with Sheasel last year in his rookie year. He was bloody awesome, wasn't he, mate?
Yeah, 100%. And he is basically playing the Sheasel role while Sheasel's now moved up more forward.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, absolutely love that. Ian, that is hilariously funny, and I love that. And also, Asa, that is also very funny. I love that our boys have literally been going this whole episode just doing pickle jokes.
I will star him and bring him up in our question section, but we've got to get through this content.
Get to the cells.
We're going to the cells. All right, do you want to go through the GWS players and tell us who...
Harvey Thomas is definitely a sell, mate. He's been a sell for a couple of weeks. I know that, the break-even's a little bit low, but I still think he's a sell. Jacob Weir, I just don't think that his ceiling is high enough to be able to be holding, and I don't think he's going to be able to get over. He might be able to just get over the hump of 300K, but I think where he's at's probably about it. Aaron Cadman, probably about the same. He needs a lot of goals or more ruck opportunities to be able to really flourish, and I don't see it. I forgot this bloke's name. What's his name, Horse?
Massimo D'Ambrosio.
Yes, he is a gone.
He is absolutely, how do we say in Italian?
Well, you're going to bless me with some Italian. You just go, get rid of him. Right, yep, he's gone. The Boner, he's gone as well. Boner, yep, see you later. Pow. I mean, the Catalina wine mixer. Pow. He gets his CBAs back, but yeah, if you need to sell, you need to sell. I still think he's got the midfield roll back without Will Phillips there. We can have a look see, but yeah, I see ya. Zach Fisher, because Horse just keeps saying he's always a sell. I think he can, if with Sheasel not there on halfback, I think he can still get to about 90 odd. So if you have him, hold. In my opinion, we'll see how that goes though. It's a bold strategy. Nice, appreciate that. I was going to say bold strategy. What do you reckon about Zach Williams, Horse? You tell me about him.
He's the hardest watch in Supercoach. You know what you should do? You should sell him. You know what? When you sell him, don't even grab the receipt. Just walk away. Yeah. And then not worry about him for the year. Because he's the hardest watch in Supercoach. Yep.
I did it last week. Smart.
Yep, we're not going with him. Jack Carroll from Carlton, if you still got him, get rid of him. Dempsey, if you still got him, get rid of him. Elliot Yeo is a sell for me. I don't think he'll have the power back in his legs, and he will hemorrhage cash when he gets back. Libba, you are a sell, but again, like we said earlier in the episode, from Skiddy and I, our viewers, our subscribers, everyone in the Insight world, we wish you all the best, mate, and hopefully you are on the road to recovery and see you back on the footy field soon. I think Shai Bolton right now is a sell. He has been dog shit.
Yep, and he's got a massive break even of
194 break even. Yep,
absolutely.
And you know who I'm putting down as a sell, and this might sound a bit weird or a bit off to the community, but I think Dawson from Adelaide.
Jordan Dawson.
I think he's a sell.
Horse. But we've been saying this whole time with Matt Crouch in the side, Jordan Dawson cannot get the scores that we want him to be. So
That's right.
it's just going to be how it is. I've been saying it the whole time. The only time that he is this year, the only game that he has had a massive game with
Was
Crouch
without?
on the side against So he had one good one without Crouch, and he had one good one with Crouch, but that was against North.
Yep.
Every other one's been shit.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
So they're our sells. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get into our players that we think you should be holding. And for those of you that have Mr. Green, first name Thomas, from the football club with the best the best social media account. Did you see today how they messaged Harry Himmelberg and they're like, "Hey Harry, what do you want for your birthday, or do you want anything for your birthday?" He's like, "Please don't call me Harrison on your socials." And then it says, "Happy birthday, Harrison."
And they posted the photo of the team.
Yeah.
They are elite.
They are elite.
And
if you do not follow them on social media, get around them.
Yeah, the Giants' social media team is fantastic. Lockie Whitfield is still a hold for the horse. So that's fine there. Rosie is a hold, barring on how long the injury is for. If it's a substantial amount of weeks, substantial for me is anything over 3 or 4. I would be holding Rosie, even though he's averaging 90 this year, horse.
99, I think, yeah.
Rowan Marshall is a hold at the moment for those that own Rowan Marshall. He will be better, just needs that week. Jack Steele, also still a hold, even after the injuries. We'll see how that goes. Nasiah Wanganeen Millera, hold, definitely, especially against Hawthorn this week. Charlie Comben, I am putting down as a hold. I still think that his intercept marking is very, very valuable. What he could do for Supercoach, just needs a little bit more assistance down back for North. Tommy Stewart, though, horse. We're holding that?
Yeah, you have to. Yep. 100%.
As a non-owner, I'm watching.
Yep. Hayden Young, he's a hold. Jackson, for me, he's a hold still. Lloyd, he's a hold. And McGovern, he is an absolute. He's a hold. You're not buying him if you don't have him, but if you've got him,
you're definitely banking on him. You're not trying to sell that off yet. If he's still getting your high 90s, you're happy.
Yep. Now, before we get into some questions, mate, we've got 2 things to get into. First of all, our captains for this week.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Aye, aye, Captain.
Who else to kick us off, mate, than your friend, the red-headed ginger ninja that makes anyone else look a lot weaker than him? What's his name?
Mario.
131, 124, 125 in his last 3. And I feel like he could go even bigger this year against North.
Yep, I 100% agree with that. There's no one that's going to be able to stop him or tackle him or do anything to him. So he can do what he wants this week, I reckon. There, you guys might notice that there's a few players that we don't have in our captain's choices. Max Gawn historically doesn't play well against Carlton. Luke Ryan doesn't historically play well against Sydney.
No, he doesn't.
Isaac Heaney doesn't play historically well against Fremantle. But I do feel like that he could actually be an okay choice as well, because obviously he never played midfield before that. Sarong doesn't play well against Sydney, and they're the players that we did identify that actually don't play well against their matchups this week.
Good.
Zach Butters though, 139 last time versus the Cats, especially with the Cats depleted midfield as well,
and without Rosie, so it's all going to be Rosie. It's all going to be Butters. Sorry.
Bingo. So I do really like the shout of Butters this week. But my man, Marcus Bontempelli, I feel like this is going to be a large game here, horse. 153, 122, 136 last 3 against the Tigers, and the Tigers give up the most Supercoach points to midfielders. So I can see a good game coming for Adam Treloar, Marcus Bontempelli mainly.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Who else do you think?
I mean, look, Nick Dacos against West Coast. Yeah. He could be all right. 123, 125 last 2 in his only 2 against the Weagles. Tingles has had an all right last 2. Dunkley 146, 142 last year versus Adelaide. He did have a 62 as well in that time as well. Tuk had 167 against North 2 years ago. He had two stinkers the last year, though. I'm still saying it now, Horse. If Sean Darcy is lining up against the Sydney Swans this week, I think Brodie Grundy can get absolutely off the chain this week because that is a matchup that would be very favourable for him.
Big call.
And, mate, I think Bailey Dale could have an absolute game this week against the Tigers. We saw what Luke Ryan and Jordan Clark were able to do against Richmond last week. That's what Bailey Dale has got this week. I think he can go big. But for me, Horse, my C and VC is firmly put on Zach Butters and Marcus Bontempelli.
Yep. I'm still tossing up between Clayton Oliver and Gawn, but I'm really feeling the Oliver pick this week. I think he's going to explode. Okay. But if that fails, I think it's going to have to be Bont.
I think Bont is the standout this week, captain's choice.